Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Party Up podcast. Today, our party consists of myself and my good friend Elana Rivkin, who I've known for a few years here at URI. We were in the same dorm freshman year.
Hell yeah, we
same
were.
Same hallway.
Well done.
A couple people, some of the only people from that hallway who stuck with the film major the whole way through.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Were you in my URI 101 class? That's basically the intro class, to college, for those of you who don't know.
You didn't have Sean, right?
No,
then we weren't.
No, that's right, because we were in the same hallway, but we weren't in the same LLRC. I can't remember the overlap between those. But a whole bunch of people that were in my URI 101 class are we were basically all film majors, and a bunch of people dropped out within the first couple of years.
Oh, same. No, a bunch of people dropped out within the first semester.
It's not for everybody.
Oh no,
it really isn't.
It's not. It's for very few. There aren't that many of us.
Yeah. What would you say are the biggest challenges that might have caused other people to drop out, but that you're nah, I got this?
I think in general, people underestimate the time and energy it takes to be a filmmaker, severely.
Yeah.
I have conversations with non-filmmakers.
It's not a very forgiving
No, it's not. And,
field.
It's funny because I think even myself, I didn't expect it to be this much.
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of got thrown into it. But that was by my own fault.
Yeah.
But I was sort of ready for that challenge. But most people think oh, you're a film major, you just watch movies in class. But that's not.
That's how it starts.
It is
right?
how it starts.
Which
Film
is
101. Sure.
Which I guess it's misleading to
yes.
people.
Yes.
Because it's oh, this is awesome. I'm just going to be watching The Dark Knight over and over and over again and writing about justice versus injustice or whatever. And it's that's about
That's
maybe,
10%.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
I was about to say maybe 20% of it,
yes.
but not even.
No.
Once you start to get into production, it's nah, you're kind of just being thrown into the pool face first, and you got to kind of sink or swim. It's not an easy
survival
thing,
of the fittest, and most people don't survive.
Yeah. You've got to either be the best, become the best, or you got to sort of carve out your own lane and figure out what you're doing. Because I'm not the best filmmaker in the world.
Me neither.
It's been about it has been. I've made it through the full 4 years. We're about to graduate. It's all good.
Yep.
Right. I think,
this is true.
I've had to sort of come to grips with the reality where it's oh my god, half the people in the film major are infinitely better at this than me.
Yes, and I've experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
So I when you said trying to find a path that suits you, that's sort of what I've been trying to do also.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you just try and do the basic narrative structure of filmmaking, oh my god, there's so much competition.
Hard, man. You there's a lot of competition, and you have to be dedicated as fuck.
Yes, and I do everything else on campus. Yeah. So I can't do the film.
You can't give 100% of yourself to the film.
I really can't. Tough. Yeah. So that's caused a lot of problems for me in the major. But like you said, we made it through the full 4 years. So we're here, we're at the end. But now it's about trying to figure out what's next. Weird.
Okay, let's try that again.
Okay.
Let me put the headphones on. No, that's what we want. Okay.
This is better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Sorry guys. That's my bad. I don't know what I'm doing yet. And this is not because usually when I do audio voiceover or whatever, I'll just do it I just have an AT2020 mic that I just sort of put on my desk, and it's one track.
Yep.
Not hard at all.
I usually do that too.
This is a little bit more complicated, but hey, gotta have that quality.
Exactly. So, let's get it.
You're from Long Island, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So I don't really know where I'm going with this, but how did is there sort of a film culture in Long Island that led you to the film major here? Is there? No?
There isn't. It's funny because growing up, I always thought I was going to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Really?
I was math and science all the way,
really?
Hardcore. I was never an artsy kid in class. I never fit in anywhere really like that. So I was always academics. And then it came to a point where, my junior year of high school, I did an internship with a local webcast series that was going on Long Island,
cool.
Which was really cool. But it's funny because initially that stemmed from I was pursuing my music career at the time, and
really?
they
What,
wanted.
is that like? What instruments did you play or something like
I
that?
sing and I play piano.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
they actually wanted me on their show as a performer, but I wanted to go and just shadow them to see what that industry was like.
Yeah, you wanted to get like into the production end of things, like just to see what it was like.
Exactly, because I'd never seen it, but I've always had some, I'd always been that kid that would be watching movies and sort of pick up on things like cinematography
and you'd be
like,
how did they do that?
Right.
Yeah,
and I always wanted to know, but I never really cared enough to do something about it. But then when I had that internship, it showed me a little bit more of what it's like, and that's where my interest started to pick up. But I still didn't think I was going to pursue it for a major.
Yeah.
And then I got to URI, came in undecided, and
really?
then immediately though, like the first day I got here, I said, you know what, I'm going to pick a major. Let's go with film. I really didn't have much backing. I said, I'll probably change.
That's ballsy.
It's ballsy as fuck. Yeah. And I really didn't think I would stick with it. But then I'd say second semester, which was when I did Film 110, which is the first production course.
That's our intro production course.
Yes. That is when I found my passion. And I said to myself, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 3 semesters of production in a row. And if I can stick with that after doing 3 different types of production, then I'm staying with the major.
Nice.
So I saved all the theory, all the history to the end, which sucks now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that I loved doing it.
Before you went all in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
See, I didn't I just decided to major in film because it's like I had no idea what the fuck else I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm like looking at all these majors and I'm like none of them make sense to me except for film.
Yeah.
Right? Like I wasn't interested in any academic subject in high school.
Okay.
Like I was like good at a bunch of stuff. Like I was decent at writing and English and stuff like that, but like I was just
Not
like
for me,
math
yeah.
and science, like
right?
Like, no, I
made a
don't
complete 180.
Yeah.
I really made a complete 180. I haven't taken math now since high school, so
that's like actually super impressive. So
Thank you.
Yeah. So you spent a semester studying abroad in Barcelona, right?
Yes.
How was that?
Oh my God, life-changing.
Was it?
Yeah,
It really is like that. I never got a chance to study abroad. Is it really like it is a life-changing experience?
As cliche as it sounds, it is, and it's not necessarily for the reasons you would think.
Yeah.
But
because that's the problem when people are like, oh my God, it's a life-changing experience. It will change your life. I'm like, come on, like really?
Like give me something more. And I'll tell you why. It's not because of all the cliche reasons of just like seeing the world and this, that. I mean, of course, that's all amazing. But there's something, and I think the way I approached it is why it was life-changing, because I went without knowing a single person.
Yeah.
I literally didn't think about it, didn't think I was going to go through with it, really. But I just packed my shit, went on my own without knowing a single person, and found my independence. And that's why it was life-changing, because I went there to explore a different culture and a different side of the world I'd never seen. I never left the country really only once, but it was like Aruba, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I never been to
That's
Europe.
A vacation spot, right? Like I say I've never left the country, but I've been to like the Bahamas or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
barely
that
counts.
doesn't count.
No. But Europe is a different world.
Yeah.
I'm serious, it's a different world. So seeing that has changed my perspective so much. And that's why I think it's life-changing, because it just opens your eyes to a certain level of humanity that you didn't know existed.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
What did you do? Like, what was the sort of the school connection to your study abroad? Well, like, was it like film projects and stuff?
So what's weird is that I actually didn't take any film classes when I was abroad.
Really?
Yes, but I went with the intention of making a documentary. I went saying, I know I'm not taking any film classes because they didn't offer any.
Yeah.
I still want to study abroad for the experience, but I still want to do something with my passion of filmmaking. So I am making a documentary.
You're still working on this?
I'm working on it now. Yes,
because you ended up in Barcelona right in the middle of like a really, really heated time between Spain and Catalonia, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was in the shit. I went to the protests.
That's nuts.
I watched it happen.
Dude.
I watched history unfold in front of my eyes.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes. Like, for people that don't know, Catalonia, which is the northeast region of Spain, is trying to secede from the rest of the country and become their own nation.
And this has been going on for a while. This conflict has been going on for a while, but Spain is just like not.
Yes, and people don't know about
They're just
it.
like, we would like to be independent, please. And Spain's just like, nope.
Every time they shut it down, but now they're making something
like a
real
push
happen.
To do it.
Yes, something like some real big changes. I remember sitting in a bar as the president of Catalonia spoke on the TV saying, "No matter what, we're doing this thing. No matter if I get arrested, no matter." It was like, I'm telling you, the goosebumps, like everything. And I went outside of that bar to town hall, thousands of people chanting, holding flags. It was unreal.
Really?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Did you like? Did you know that was going on? Is that part of the reason why you went over there?
It's weird because I didn't even know it was a thing until probably like 2 weeks before I left.
Really?
Because it's so underreported in this side of the world, which is also why I'm making a documentary about sort of like the disconnect between America and Europe and things like that.
Sure.
But I didn't really know about it, until because the terrorist attack also happened, unfortunately, in Barcelona a couple weeks before I went there, which was something heavy on my mind too before I went. Of course, my whole family, But
no, straight up, if that happened to me, if I was like, hey mom, I'm gonna go to Barcelona for a semester, and then 2 weeks before that happened, like some kind of terrorist attack went off, my mom would be like, you're not going.
Yeah, my mom said that to me. But I did use like some heavy logic. I said, well, if it happened now, it probably won't happen again in the same spot, right? Like, what are the chances?
Twice, right?
Like, what are the chances that they'll go back to Barcelona? Like, kind of better now than in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So that was my logic, and I did it anyway.
Shaky.
Yeah.
But fair, I guess.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, it was amazing though, and it's definitely a weirder transition back than I'd say going. For sure.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really experience culture shock, when I got there, but I sort of experienced a reverse culture shock coming home. It's just it's kind of like, well, I missed 3 months of what happened here politically and culturally and socially.
Oh, yeah. So you spent so long getting used to a new world, and it's like that's your whole experience there.
Yeah.
But then you're like, all of a sudden when you get back, you're like, oh shit, I have this other place that I have to deal with.
And like I have to deal with like
it's like,
the
oh
Trump
yeah, I'm from
world,
here.
and I have to like live in this as opposed to being so connected to the Catalonian world.
Coming back to, and I don't want to get too political here, but coming back to Trump's America, I imagine is not the best feeling.
No,
in the world.
and that's one reason why I left in the time I did. But like, it's definitely weird. I should have probably stayed longer because it's definitely weird to sort of miss 3 months of crazy things that have occurred since I was gone to come back to a very strange temperament in society.
3 months is a long time in America these days.
It really
because
is.
The news cycle is nuts. It's it's
every
crazy
day.
with shit every day. Yeah.
And I didn't know a lot about it too. That was the thing, is being there, I knew less about what was going on here, and being here, I knew less about what's going on there.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's definitely a strange transition to make.
Well, it seems like you're doing okay.
Yeah. On the surface, sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's what matters, right? Fake it till you make it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. No, like the other day I heard a really great quote. I was watching a TED Talk, and they said, don't fake it till you make it, fake it till you become it.
Yes, I've heard that before.
And I identify with that. So I'm going to start saying that more.
Oh, totally. Because like fucking I'm assuming you've heard of imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that's a fucking huge thing for people our age right now.
For sure.
Yeah. Like imposter syndrome defines my entire fucking life right now. Because I just don't feel like, even though I'm doing my shit, and I'm doing a pretty good job.
You are.
According to other people, they're like, wow, Sal, you can do these crazy things with video, and I'm like, it took me 5 minutes, bro. Like, it's all good. But I feel like I am a bullshit artist.
Me too.
Even when I'm just not. Like, it's crazy.
That's kind of how it has to be in our industry, though. I mean, it sounds bad. I mean, and I could think of a couple people here as well
who are complete bullshit artists.
Yes. And it's like, I admire them in a way, but I'm also like,
oh, I don't. I fucking hate those
but
people,
I'm also
man.
like, shit, like, you kind of fake. And like, that's not good. Like, I mean, sure, maybe that'll help you in your career.
No, fuck that, though.
But at the same time, like, be a good person. At the end of the day, like, be real, because who are you if you're not real? Like, you're just a walking, body. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a thing. Imposter syndrome is most definitely a thing. Yes. So you're working on your documentary.
Yes.
What is, without giving too much away, I would imagine you want to keep some things under wraps. Is the focus of the documentary, like, you went in, I'm guessing, just to kind of document the trip itself? How does your sort of focus of the documentary shift when you start to become embroiled in this this major like world-shaking event?
Well, I actually went with...
Like, does it become a documentary about the Spanish Catalonian kind of rift, I guess?
Right. I went with the intention really to make the documentary to highlight the juxtaposition between Americans' perspective on European culture and politics and vice versa. So I really had that idea going into it.
Yeah.
But But then everything that was happening, I said, I'm here at this moment with my camera. I have the lens physically to do this. I need to document it. So my plan, and I'm still working through like the logistics of it, is to still do that same idea, because I have a couple interviews that I conducted with locals there and some people here, to use all of that, but make the referendum and the whole fight for independence as the introduction into that conversation. And it could be the way that sparks like why this is necessary.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to show that.
So it's kind of like you're starting off with the huge event, right? And it's like so that's kind of like saying to people who would watch that in America, it's like, you're being told one thing about this. Here's a perspective from me. I was actually there.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yes, like I want to include like, newspaper article, articles from videos online, things like that. I'm trying to, grab other sources aside from just what I got. I just very limited from what I got. And then, incorporate the conversations that are more general in terms of, the way that, a local in Barcelona views the way that we function as a society right now here. And I have
Did you interview people while you were over
Yes.
there? Yeah?
Yes.
You interviewed locals?
I did. So I interviewed one local person from Barcelona. Then I interviewed someone from the UK, someone from Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the one from Switzerland, she had never
all
been
in
here.
Barcelona? Or
Yes,
did you go to
all
other
in Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all happened to be there, which was good.
That's cool.
It kind of like broadened my demographic,
and
it wasn't purposeful.
It gets you a whole different perspective.
Exactly,
that's cool.
and that's kind of the point. I'm trying to really gather 4 perspectives, so it's well-rounded. So the American who has been to Europe, American who has not been to Europe, European who has been to America, and European who has not been to America.
Oh.
Yeah, so that way it covers all the bases. But, at the end of the day, like, it's not an empirical study, because, like, 4 to 6 to 8 people's perspectives don't define the greater, good and like the greater perspective of society in general.
Sure.
But, I think it still can provide some insight.
It gives you multiple perspectives.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think watching it as an American and making it from American's perspective as well is, it's going to hopefully be as unbiased as possible. But I don't want it to be anything of my own, words or whatever. But you can't really remove yourself 100% from your own work.
No, ever. I mean, anybody who's making a documentary or even like news programs or whatever, it's impossible to be 100% unbiased in anything.
Exactly. But I'm hoping that, the goal is really to make people more open-minded, and hoping that Americans will view this documentary as well as people over in Europe and sort of realize that there's a bit of a divide, and that the stereotypes that we've sort of placed on each other and each other's cultures, don't necessarily have to exist and don't really exist as much as we may think.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks.
That's definitely
excited.
A cool objective. So what sort of comes after, what phase of the production are you in right now? Because you have all the footage. You got all the footage when you were over there. Are you editing it right now?
So I actually need to get a little more B-roll here, because I don't really have much. I have a ton of European B-roll, but I want to get some American to kind of, contrast that. I have one more interview to conduct, but other than that, I'm in the process of transcribing interviews, which will take forever because I have like hours long.
Oh my God. I did a project last semester where I had to transcribe like 4 people talking in a room for about an hour. I had to do a focus group for Justin Wyatt's class.
Love him,
He's great. And even that took a million years.
Yes, and I have 8 interviews.
With people who speak a different language.
Yeah, so like their accents are hard to sort of pick up every word they say. So that in and of itself is going to make it take double the time. And I'm still going through footage because I have so much, but I'm really trying to highlight, figure out the best. Then I need to actually plan out the structure of the documentary and how I'm going to proceed, and then I'm going to edit. So it's going to be done by the end of the semester. Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Damn. I'm doing it for the documentary production class I'm taking right now.
Oh.
Yes.
Yo. That's
and I didn't
awesome.
do that on purpose. It just kind of worked out. I begged.
It just worked out that way.
I begged the film department to let me do this as my capstone. That's why I'm not in 495, because I said, this is a thing I did. I want to do this. Please let me so I can graduate.
Damn, you're making moves. For people who don't understand the way our school works, that is like super defying the track that they put you on.
Yes. And one of what I said, I had to do a curriculum modification, go through the whole dean and everything, and I said, if you don't honor the request, then you're like not taking I don't remember the words I used, but I said you're not allowing people to have a different, unique track in the film major as opposed to just being a narrative filmmaker. Like, you're essentially, by honoring my request...
You're putting people in a box.
Exactly. By honoring my request, you're showing that you accept various types of filmmakers and someone who doesn't fit the mold.
Oh my God, that's smart. You put them on blast.
I did. And if they denied that, that would just blow up in their own faces. Yeah.
That would have been fucked up.
I had an argument, so yeah, it worked.
That's cool. I'm glad that worked out for you.
Thank you. Me too.
So that sort of answers my next question, which is like, what are you going to do with the documentary after it's done? So I think it's going to be a part of the documentary filmmaking class. So it's going to be sort of URI branded film. I was going to ask if you were going to like sort of pitch it and send it to places.
I want to. Yeah, that's something I'm really strongly thinking about. Yeah. You know, once I get a better visual sense of what it's going to look like, because everything I had was handheld, so it's not the highest quality visually, but at the same time, I think
But at the same time, it's like firsthand experience. Like, it's like you were there.
Exactly. And I think that in itself is powerful. So I do want to send it. I do, for sure. I want to get in some film festivals, hopefully, or, you know, talk to some I like distributions. I don't know, like we'll see where the next step, but I definitely want to do something with it. It's not just going to be a school project.
Definitely. I don't think it should just be a school project. I feel like that would be a waste.
Exactly. I agree with you.
I feel like you've got something pretty impressive on your hands there.
Thank you. I'm excited about it.
So what is like, think big here.
Okay.
What is like?
I know what you're gonna say.
Like your ultimate goal in terms of like the
Of course.
What do you want to do with your film major, basically? Yeah. Like, do you want to do more stuff like what you're doing now, or do you want to like?
This has been something that's been weighing on me quite heavily. You know, since I got home. You know, now that it's my last semester, I'm getting
most definitely
people up my ass.
That's why I'm asking other people about it. Because I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah. The thing is, like, this. People don't realize, you know, in this major. Maybe 1% of people in the major actually do something with film for the rest of their lives. Like, it just is such a low statistic. So it's
maybe
difficult.
in all the people that you've had, all the film classes that you've taken, maybe one of them is going to become a big time director.
Exactly. Maybe exactly. So it's very hard. But you know, it's
I know
so
who these people
pressure.
are, but I'm not going to drop it. Like you know who these people are who just have it. You know?
And it's difficult because there's a lot of pressure from outside sources, things like that. But you know, I am starting to become more like to narrow down my intentions with my passion. And the thing is, for me, I've always pursued filmmaking in a way that can pair filmmaking and social activism, because I'm very passionate about social activism. So using my like skills and my knowledge in that, as well as leadership things that I've been involved with, to create films that are socially aware. You know, like the only thing I compare it to would be like Black Mirror or like Get Out, things like that that are entertaining.
Yo, I just saw Get Out for the first time on Wednesday.
Oh my God, what do you think?
I thought it was fucking amazing.
Incredible. And you really have to watch at least 4 times before you get every detail. Because it's crazy.
Because I like even, right, like I don't want this to become the Get Out podcast. But basically, like I'm just, let's just blow this film for a little bit because this is fucking, this film is amazing. It's like even knowing, because I knew what the people were doing before I watched the movie. Like somewhere along the lines, I got the main sort of twist of the movie.
Me too.
Relatively spoiled.
I mean, as filmmakers,
it's kind of hard to avoid.
Yeah.
But that didn't fucking matter.
No, it
didn't matter at all.
You wanted to be in it.
Yeah, and it's just and then like I feel like that even like made the experience better, because knowing what was going to happen, sort of, not knowing how it was going to shake out, and watching the build up and seeing all the little clues was fucking incredible, dude. It was awesome. I love that movie.
I loved it. Everything about it. Yeah, and I think that if I could do something, I mean, that's a really large, ambitious goal to do something in that way. So I think where I think closer now in terms of like what I'm going to do right after graduation.
What you could do is you could start like you could do true to life stuff like you're doing now, like IRL shit, like about a whole bunch of different issues all over America, all over the world. And then and then like somewhere down the line you could adapt one of those things and make a fictional story out of it.
Exactly. And I really do hope I'm probably going to start working in like the nonprofit sector right out of graduation. That's an ideal situation for me, because I would feel connected to the work I'm doing and my skills.
How does one make
money in
the nonprofit sector?
They have money. Like they have money to like sustain their employees.
Yeah, but they don't like beyond sustaining their business and sustaining their employees. That's where the nonprofit part of it comes in. They don't just hoard money.
No, and they don't just like have money because they're not getting revenue from whatever they're putting out. if that makes sense. Like
it's
they
more,
get
it's
grants
more sort of,
mostly. They get donations.
It's more sort of philanthropic. In
Yes,
nature,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Which is why I feel connected to it, because I think I just want to do something that is impactful to the community.
Yeah.
And I think having skills in like media related things is something that's so important in the 21st century now. And
100%.
And the older generation is so disconnected that it's like our generation, this is the time, like this is what's needed for them.
Yeah, we're kind of gonna rule the fucking world.
Exactly.
If we know how to make videos, like,
it's
everybody.
true.
Think about this, and like no one thinks about this, especially like when looking at a film program on the surface, or for like a film major who's just starting out, you know,
Right.
just in the film 101 class where you're watching The Dark Knight.
Sure, exactly.
You don't realize how widely applicable video
So
production
accurate.
is.
Yes.
Because everybody and their fucking grandfather needs videos made.
And the thing
Every
is,
company you've ever seen, everybody needs videos made, man.
yeah, and nowadays you don't even have to, like, you can major in film, never do anything with film, but having the skills, you're setting yourself apart. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the greatest in editing, I'm not the greatest filmmaker in the world in any way, shape, or form. There are things I don't know, and there will always be things I don't know.
Yeah.
But the skills I do have, knowing what I know, will be so helpful to me in any career I go to.
Yeah, you can take them and apply them somewhere else.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to be the editing person.
No,
you know?
because you can be the film person in another position.
Yes,
because you can
exactly.
provide a multifaceted, like, you know.
You can provide a service that, like, this corporate entity or whatever, not necessarily a
Exactly.
corporate entity, but like,
They don't have to go to third party because you know how to do it and you work for them.
you could be the video
Yes.
guy or person
Yes.
or girl. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And you can do multiple things. So I think it's something that everyone should become at least competent in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an expert, but I think being competent in these things to a certain extent will be setting
It
you
will
apart
save
no
your
matter
fucking
what.
life.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I think it was a very smart move that I had subconsciously done, not knowing anything
go.
was going to
See,
happen.
yeah, you
so
were thinking about it
younger
even when you
me,
weren't thinking about it,
exactly.
yeah.
Younger me really helped me out right now. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got. We got time for. We're coming up on a half hour right now.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
this was awesome.
Yeah, thank
This
you,
is a
Sal.
solid interview.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
this
yeah.
was really fun. This was a great time. I haven't talked about filmmaking in a while, so it's good.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, thank you very much for coming on. This is I'm Sal. I don't know if I introduced myself even at the beginning of this, but fuck it, whatever. You know me by now. This is the Party Up podcast. Elana Rivkin, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Sal. Stay tuned for my documentary. In the
Hell
near
yeah,
future.
we'll be looking out for that. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know where it's gonna be. Or
I mean,
anything,
I'm
right?
on my YouTube page. You can look up my name, things like that.
What's it? You have a channel like under your name?
I do, yeah, under my first and last name, yeah.
Okay, solid. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that.
Cool.
If you're into social activism,
Yeah.
be active. It's cool.
It is.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.